2:17 a.m., the Strait of Hormuz. A cold wind cuts across the black water as the USS gravely moves silently through one of the most dangerous stretches of ocean on Earth. Her radar arrays rotate without pause. Her crew stands at modified watch. No one sleeps easy here, not tonight, not in these waters. Intelligence reports over the past 72 hours have been pointing towards something big, something close, but nothing could have prepared them for what was about to happen. Deep inside the Combat Information Center, Petty Officer Daniel Reyes stares at his radar screen. The green glow reflects off his face. Everything looks normal. The usual commercial traffic. A few fishing vessels near the Iranian coastline. Nothing unusual. He shifts in his seat and reaches for his coffee. Then the screen changes. A single contact appears. Then another, then 4 more, then 12, then 18. His hand stops moving. Contacts, multiple contacts, bearing 015, speed, fast, very fast. The officer on watch leans in. His eyes scan the data. Altitude climbing, trajectory calculating. The computer processes the information in less than 2 seconds and the answer appears on screen in bold red letters. Ballistic missile launch detected. Threat assessment high. The alarm splits the silence of the ship like a blade. Every sailor aboard the USS gravely feels it in their chest before they even understand what is happening. The sound is not like anything else. It is not a drill alarm. It is not a routine alert. It is the sound that every Navy crew member trains for but prays they never hear for real. Battle stations. This is not a drill. And boots hit metal floors across every deck. Hatches slam open and shut. Men and women move through the ship with controlled urgency. Trained movements. No panic, no hesitation. Every second matters now. In the Combat Information Center, Lieutenant Commander Sarah Okafor takes command of the console. Her voice is calm and precise. Years of training compressed into every word she speaks. Track all contacts. Identify launch origin. Get me a threat timeline. The answer comes back in seconds. The missiles were launched from a mobile ballistic missile battery positioned along the Iranian coastline near Bandar Abbas. 18 Shahab-3 variant missiles, each one carrying a warhead capable of destroying a destroyer-class vessel. Each one moving at speeds that compress decision-making into a window measured not in minutes but in seconds. The USS Gravely is alone in this stretch of water. The nearest carrier strike group is 40 nautical miles to the south. Close enough for air support, too far for immediate assistance. The ship has one job right now: survive the next 94 seconds. Iran had been watching the USS Gravely for 6 days. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps naval intelligence units had tracked the destroyer as it conducted routine freedom of navigation operations through the Strait of Hormuz. The movement of an American destroyer through these waters was nothing new. The United States Navy had been doing it for decades. Iran had protested it for decades. But this time, something was different. 3 days before the attack, a meeting took place inside a reinforced command bunker outside Tehran. Senior IRGC commanders reviewed satellite imagery of American naval positioning in the Gulf region. The USS Gravely had passed within 12 nautical miles of Iranian territorial waters 4 times in 6 days. To the commanders in that room, this was not routine. This was provocation. The order was given quietly, no announcement, no warning. Prepare Battery 7 for immediate launch readiness. 18 missiles, maximum saturation attack. The goal was not just to hit a ship. The goal was to overwhelm its defenses completely, to fire so many missiles so fast that no defensive system on Earth could stop them all. Iranian missile crews worked through the night. Mobile launchers were repositioned under cover of darkness. Each launcher was carefully camouflaged, fuel loaded, targeting coordinates locked, and the crews were told only what they needed to know. Launch on command, no hesitation. At 2:16 a.m. local time, the launch command was transmitted on an encrypted frequency. Within 40 seconds, all 18 missiles were in the air. The USS Gravely had exactly 94 seconds before the first missile reached its position. Inside the Combat Information Center, Lieutenant Commander Okafor watches 18 threat tracks converge on a single point on her screen. That point is her ship. The mathematics are brutal. 18 incoming ballistic missiles, multiple warheads, maneuvering re-entry vehicles on at least 6 of them. The Aegis combat system is already calculating intercept solutions. The Spy-1D radar is painting every single contact with extraordinary precision, but the geometry is difficult. The missiles are coming from multiple angles. They are not all on the same trajectory. The Iranians planned this carefully. Aegis is tracking all 18. Intercept solutions calculated for 14. 4 tracks are still being resolved. 4 missiles without confirmed intercept solutions. 4 missiles that the system is still working to lock onto. 4 missiles that could hit the ship if the next few seconds do not go perfectly. Okafor makes the call without hesitation. Weapons free. Engage all confirmed tracks. Continue working the remaining 4. Get electronic warfare online now. The USS Gravely shudders as the first Standard Missile 3 leaves its vertical launch cell. Then another, then another. The ship is firing back at the darkness above the Gulf, and somewhere up in that darkness, 18 missiles are already descending. The clock on the Combat Information Center display reads T-minus 71 seconds. The Standard Missile 3 is one of the most capable interceptor missiles ever built by human hands. It does not carry an explosive warhead in the traditional sense. It kills incoming ballistic missiles by hitting them directly, a kinetic impact traveling at thousands of meters per second. The physics are simple. The execution is extraordinarily difficult. You are essentially trying to hit a bullet with another bullet. Except both bullets are moving at hypersonic speeds, and one of them is actively trying to avoid you. The first intercept happens at 61 seconds remaining. A blinding flash appears high above the Gulf, visible for miles in every direction. One of the 18 Iranian missiles ceases to exist. The debris field scatters harmlessly into the water far from the ship. Inside the Combat Information Center, a quiet acknowledgement passes through the team. No celebration. 17 missiles still incoming. T-minus 58 seconds. 2 more intercepts happen almost simultaneously. 2 more flashes in the dark sky above the strait. 2 more threat tracks disappear from the display. 15 missiles remaining. The Aegis system is performing, but the mathematics are still dangerous. The ship has a finite number of interceptors. Every missile it fires to defend itself is 1 less it has available if something goes wrong. And something is about to go wrong. 3 of the Iranian missiles have begun maneuvering. Their re-entry vehicles are executing programmed evasive patterns, small lateral movements, trajectory adjustments, nothing dramatic, but enough to force the Aegis system to recalculate intercept solutions in real time. The targeting computers adapt, but each recalculation costs fractions of a second, and fractions of a second matter when you have less than a minute. Track 7 is maneuvering, recalculating, Track 12 maneuvering, Track 15 maneuvering. Okafor keeps her voice steady. Keep firing. Prioritize the maneuvering tracks. Phalanx to auto on my mark. The Phalanx close-in weapon system is the last line of defense. A radar-guided rotary cannon that can fire thousands of rounds per minute at incoming missiles that make it past everything else. It is not meant to be the primary defense. It is the final backstop. Activating it means the outer layers of defense are not enough. It means missiles are getting close. T-minus 41 seconds. 4 more intercepts. The sky above the strait is flickering with explosions now. 11 missiles remaining. The USS Gravely is firing continuously. The vertical launch cells are cycling as fast as the system allows. The ship is doing everything right, but 11 missiles at 41 seconds is still a lethal equation. Electronic warfare systems flood the electromagnetic spectrum with jamming signals. The AN/SLQ-32 system targets the guidance frequencies of the incoming missiles. 2 of the remaining Iranian missiles begin behaving erratically, their guidance systems compromised. their trajectories shifting away from the ship. One curves sharply to the east and impacts the water nearly 2 miles away. Another begins a slow downward spiral and explodes on contact with the Gulf surface harmlessly off the port bow. 9 missiles remaining. T-minus 33 seconds. Interceptors continue firing. 5 more kills in rapid succession. The Aegis system is operating at peak efficiency. The SPY-1D radar is holding all tracks with precision. The intercept geometry is improving as the missiles descend and their trajectories converge. 4 missiles remaining. T-minus 19 seconds. Then the warning tone changes. 2 tracks inside terminal range. Phalanx engaging. The sound of the phalanx system opening fire is unlike anything else aboard a naval vessel. A deep mechanical buzzing that seems to vibrate through the hull of the ship itself. Thousands of tungsten rounds per minute reaching out into the darkness. The first terminal phase missile detonates less than 400 meters from the ship. The shockwave rolls across the water, and the USS gravely shudders but holds. The second missile takes 2 bursts from the phalanx before it breaks apart. Pieces of it fall into the Gulf less than 200 meters off the starboard side. 2 missiles remain on track. T-minus 9 seconds. One final standard missile intercept destroys the 17th Iranian missile at an altitude of less than 1,000 feet above the Gulf surface. The debris rains down into the water less than 300 meters from the ship. The 18th missile impacts the water 40 meters off the port bow. 40 meters. The explosion sends a wall of water crashing over the forward deck. Sailors brace against anything solid. The ship rocks hard. Systems momentarily flicker. But the USS Gravely is intact. No hull breach, no casualties. The ship is alive. T-minus 0. 94 seconds after the first missile launched from the Iranian coastline, the attack is over. 17 missiles destroyed. 1 missed by 40 meters. The USS Gravely is still moving, still breathing, still fighting. But the night is not over. In the Combat Information Center, Okafor pulls up the damage assessment and the tactical picture simultaneously. The ship survived. Now comes the next decision, the one that will define the rest of this night and possibly the next chapter of this conflict. The United States does not leave an attack unanswered. 400 miles to the northwest, inside the USS Gerald Ford's flag bridge, Rear Admiral James Calloway has been watching the entire engagement on a live tactical feed. He saw every missile launch. He tracked every intercept. He watched the 18th missile hit 40 meters off the bow of one of his destroyers. His face has not changed expression once during the entire 94 seconds, but his eyes are hard. His staff stands quietly around him. Nobody speaks until he speaks. Get me Central Command and get the air wing ready. The decision to respond militarily to a ballistic missile attack on a United States Navy vessel does not require lengthy deliberation. It requires authorization, coordination, and precision. The authorization comes through within 11 minutes. Central Command has been monitoring the situation since the first missile launch was detected by satellite. The strike package was already being assembled before the last Iranian missile hit the water. 12 FA-18 Super Hornets are brought to launch readiness on the flight deck of the USS Gerald Ford. Each aircraft is loaded with a combination of AGM-154, Joint Standoff Weapons, and AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missiles. The HARM missiles have one specific purpose: to destroy radar systems. And the Iranian missile battery that fired 18 ballistic missiles at an American destroyer has a very distinctive radar signature that the electronic intelligence systems have been recording for the past 6 days. At 2:51 a.m., 34 minutes after the attack on the USS Gravely began, the first F/A-18 launches from the carrier deck into the darkness over the Gulf. Then another, until all 12 aircraft are airborne and moving north toward the Iranian coastline at low altitude. Simultaneously, 4 Tomahawk cruise missiles are launched from the USS Gravely itself. There is something deliberate about this. The ship that was just attacked is the ship that fires the first retaliatory strike. The symbolism is not lost on anyone in the fleet. The Tomahawks fly low and fast over the dark water. Their terrain-following guidance systems navigate them toward 4 separate targets along the Iranian coastline. Mobile missile launcher sites, command and control facilities associated with the IRGC ballistic missile program, radar installations. The strike package is not random, it is precise. Every target was selected to degrade the capability that was just used against the USS Gravely. Inside the Iranian command bunker near Bandar Abbas, the commanders who ordered the attack are already receiving fragmented reports. Their radar systems are detecting something. Aircraft, multiple aircraft, moving fast, moving low. The picture is incomplete because the jamming has already begun. The EA-18G Growlers accompanying the strike package are flooding Iranian radar frequencies with electronic noise. What Iranian air defense operators are seeing on their screens is degraded, confused, unreliable. By the time the picture becomes clear enough to respond, the AGM-88 HARM missiles are already inbound. The first Iranian radar installation goes offline at 3:04 a.m. Not destroyed, simply overwhelmed and then killed by a missile moving faster than the operators could react to. The second radar goes dark 11 seconds later. Without functioning radar, Iranian air defense systems in the coastal zone are effectively blind. The FA-18S release their joint standoff weapons from outside the remaining air defense envelope. The JSOW glides silently toward its target. No engine, no radar signature. Just a precision-guided glide bomb following GPS coordinates that were locked in before the aircraft even crossed the coastline. The mobile missile battery that launched the 18 Shahab-3 missiles ceases to exist at 3:09 a.m. 3 additional launcher sites are destroyed in the following 4 minutes. 2 command and control nodes associated with the attack go dark. 1 fuel storage facility supporting the IRGC missile program burns with a fire visible from the deck of the USS Gravely 40 miles away. By 3:17 a.m., all 12 FA-18S are turning south back toward the carrier. No aircraft lost, no pilots down. Every target destroyed or severely damaged. As dawn begins to lighten the eastern horizon over the Gulf of Oman, the USS Gravely holds her position in the Strait of Hormuz. Her hull is intact. Her crew is shaken but uninjured. The 40-meter miss by the 18th Iranian missile will be talked about for years. The margin between a surviving destroyer and a catastrophic loss was smaller than a basketball court. The 94-second response will be studied in naval academies for a generation. The combination of Aegis, Standard Missile 3, electronic warfare, and phalanx operating in integrated sequence against an 18-missile saturation attack is exactly what those systems were designed to do. On this night, they did it. Iran fired 18 ballistic missiles at a United States Navy destroyer. 17 were destroyed before they reached their target. 1 missed by 40 meters. And within 34 minutes, the force that launched those missiles no longer had the capability to do it again. The Strait of Hormuz belongs to whoever can hold it. On this night, the United States Navy held it. The USS Gravely continues her patrol.